Hey, it's me again. I'm going to tell you about another book. I've so far done 3 book talks. I'm about to do another one. Um, this one's called The Boy in the Black Suit, and I thought I had this picture saved, and it looks like there we go. The Boy in the Black Suit. If you have not read any of Jason Reynolds' work, you are behind the times. His style of writing, how he's able to captivate our audience. I feel like he's Walter D. Myers, but on another level. I love Walter D. Myers. God bless his soul. I always wanted to meet him. He was one of my favorite male writers. That's one thing our industry lacks when it comes to young adult lit is male writers. Jason Reynolds is one of the best writers, period. Male, female, you can say whatever, period. Black, white, Hispanic. He's a great writer, period. And I love how his writings are very diverse. He's not a cookie cutter writer. He has many different pieces, very thought-provoking pieces. I'm still working my way through the list because I just discovered him, I want to say last year. And I think I've read 3 or 4 books by him. This, I think, is the 3rd one. One book you would definitely have heard about, All American Boys. He co-wrote that with another author, where you have a young man who is thrashed, terribly beaten up by a cop. And it goes through his perspective, and you have a white boy who knows him, and he basically witnesses what happens, and he wonders whether he should speak up. So you're going through both of their minds throughout the whole book. Ghosts is actually called the Track, I think, series, but it's like Ghosts, Patrice, and I forgot the 3rd one. I read Ghosts, loved it. It was super funny. Ghost is pretty much always getting in trouble, always getting kicked out, ends up on this track team. But Ghost makes some very crazy, stupid decisions. And he has an awesome talent about him that the coach is trying to work with. But they call him Ghost because he runs so fast. But that's a very good read. So I'll admit, when I picked up The Boy in the Black Suit, it's not the most provoking title, let's be real. But because it's Jason Reynolds, I felt compelled to read this book. And what I love about this book is, despite the fact that he's going through a very rough time in his life, there is humor, a lot of humor in this story. So it reminds me of Renee Watson's What Mama Left Me. Because in that story, the main character is struggling with her mom's death, just like this main character here, Matt. So Matt is struggling with his mom's death. The main character in What Mama Left Me, she ends up, she loves to cook because of her mom. He loves to cook because of his mom. But basically, what's so crazy about this, ironic about the story, is Matt, as a result of his mother passing away, and he decides he wants to find a job, and he was going to work at this chicken shack. And it's not called the chicken shack, it's called something else, but it's like a chicken shack in his neighborhood. And the man who owns the local funeral home offers him a job. And Matt ends up getting this job. First, he's like, what I look like working with dead people? My mom just passed away of cancer. And he ends up taking a chance and going with the job, and he ends up loving it. And it's like, he liked watching the people at the funerals and the homecoming celebrations, because he realized he wasn't the only one going through this, and other people are mourning people that they love. And I just really love how he evolves. He's kind of quirky, doesn't really deal with girls, but then he meets who he thinks her name is Renee, and kind of find out her name is Love. And what finally gets him to finally speak to her is that her grandmother passes, and he ends up helping at the repast, ends up helping her. It also shows a side to Black culture when it comes to funerals and homegoing celebrations, how we act, how we behave, and what do we do to certain things. And you have Matt, the guy who owns the funeral home, Matt's dad, who was an alcoholic before he met Matt's mom. And once he met Matt's mom, he got his life together. Hadn't had a drink ever since. I want to say maybe like a few months or maybe a few weeks after the mom passed. Dad loses it. And dad is struggling with alcoholism to the point he almost loses his life. And Matt's struggling with that because Matt is like, I understand we both lost someone we love, but then for you to like put your life in danger like this, and I'm still here. I'm still here. So Matt is struggling with that. He's very smart. He tries to keep his head down in school and try to be seen. But at the same time, he loves this job. And because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's a senior. So he gets out of school by 12 o'clock. So once he leaves the school, he goes to the funeral home and works. But I was telling somebody, which they thought that was shocking, it was actually a very funny book. It's actually a very funny book. It's not morbid in any way. It takes like a lighthearted approach to how people mourn, how people move on after death. But I love it, and I love that I read it because one thing we've experienced in the last 2 or 3 years at the school that I teach at are kids who lost parents. And it'll be awesome for them to read books like this to see how you can bounce back. There is life after death. And this is a pretty nice story. So this is called The Boy in the Black Suit by Jason Reynolds. And he has other books that you definitely need to read if you have not read them already. He has at least 10. So if you haven't read one, you're behind. Get on it.